Hello, my name is Kujosi. Welcome back to our topic under the reversal candlestick pattern. And we are going to be discussing on piercing pattern of reversal candles. And we will discuss also on dark cloud. This is the bullish pattern of piercing pattern. And this is the dark cloud is the bearish reversal pattern of it. And if you look clearly, this look like the opposite of engulfing. Am I right? Yes, but if you know how engulfing looks, you will know that this is not engulfing candle. The bigger candle is at the front, not the back, okay? This is called piercing pattern. This piercing pattern is another reversal pattern of a candle that most traders use to identify when market is about to end, okay? On this piercing pattern is on a bearish trend. What will appear is piercing pattern, while on a bullish trend, what will appear is dark cloud, okay? But once I'm through, I will shift to the other one. Now, a piercing pattern looks familiar with engulfing, but in the opposite direction. You see that if it was engulfing, the smaller candle would have been at the back, while the big candle would have engulfed it. But this time around, the smaller candle is below this and then, but the way it doesn't look like a rami, because a rami, the candle is within, the smaller candle shadow, everything is within the body of the big candle. But this one is called piercing pattern. Look at how it looks, so that whenever you see it, you will be able to identify a piercing pattern. A piercing pattern is a bullish reversal candle, and this type of candles are rare to see in the market. So it's better you know it, but don't be worried about seeing it, because you don't actually need it whenever you want. You have other reversal pattern, but it's good to have the knowledge. Anytime you see it, you trade it. When you don't see it, you focus on other reversal pattern in the market. Now let's go for on recap. A piercing pattern is a bullish reversal pattern, but it's a secondary to the bullish engulfing. Are you hearing it? It is the higher, it's more big, is the advance of bullish engulfing, because it tends to be smaller in size and it doesn't close above the previous candle. Buyers are momentary in control. The larger the pattern, the more significant it becomes. The most important thing is that you don't trade this candle pattern in isolation. Okay. Now, when you say isolation, it means that a market that is not trending well, you need it in a market that has strength. Okay. Now let's go to, this is the bullish piercing pattern, is the bullish reversal of it. Then we are going to discuss on that crowd. That crowd is the bearish. Okay. Whenever you see that crowd appears at the top of a buying trend. Now, what that crowd is the opposite of bullish, the bullish, which is the piercing pattern. Remember that piercing and dark crowd cover is the advance of engulfing candlestick. Just know that. Now, on a dark crowd cover, it's a bearish reversal pattern, but it's a secondary to the bearish engulfing, just like the other one. Sellers are monitoring in momentary in control. That's what this candlestick pattern represents. Now, it's telling you that now that the buyers are weak and sellers are momentary in control. So the larger it is, the more significant it becomes. Don't trade it in an isolation. So let's go to a live chart. Although it was very, very, I have to look for it until I have to see one. You know, if I don't do that, it will be so stressful if we are searching for it. But you should know how a dark cloud looks like and a piercing pattern looks like. So this one is for, this is a piercing, but this is the bullish version of which is called piercing pattern. You saw when it came up, what did you do? You set your entry point here. Okay, this is where your entry point should be if you are trading that style I taught you. Sorry. Okay, yeah. I use here as your entry point. You can use here as your stop loss. You measure the distance between your entry point, 1:1. Don't be too greedy. With time, you will learn other strategies that will give you 1:20, 1:50, any strategy. But this one is quite believable. See, how many pips? Sorry, I didn't check the pips. 20 pips. So let's look at it on this side. This is it, 20 pips. Okay. Okay, are you seeing that? This is 20 pips. Okay. This time 1:1. You saw what happens, especially when you start noticing that your take profit is about to hit with a very thick candle. Remember what I said in the other listing. All you have to do is just remove your take profit and measure another 1:2. You can do it 1:2. You can, instead of 20 pips, you make it 40. You set your TP here. The body of the candle that broke, if the body of the candle that broke your entry point is very strong, there is tendency that the market will hit 1:2 if you do your back test. So now this is called piercing pattern. Okay, this is, you can see piercing pattern. This is bullish piercing pattern. Then I spotted another bearish piercing pattern. Let me check. I might see it. Okay, this is another one. This is bearish piercing pattern. Okay, this one is bearish piercing pattern. You saw how this one. This one is not bearish. You call it dark cloud cover. Let me remove it. Let me remove. This is how this is the dark cloud. This one is bearish candle. This one is bullish. Okay, you saw it. They are dark cloud. So what do you do? This is the stop loss here. Okay, the candle that is lower than the piercing pattern, you can use this candle. Okay, so you measure the distance between your entry point and your stop loss. Okay, from here to here, so it's 13 pips. So you will shake out for 13 pips. This is 13 pips. Okay, so you target your 13 pips. Are you seeing that? Your piercing pattern. Although it's rare to see a piercing pattern, but when you see it, you can be able to recognize it. If you are still confused, you repeat the class, you might understand what I'm saying. There are many piercing patterns in the market, but there are some candle reversal patterns that always appear every time. You will see it, like this is spinning top. You see, you saw spinning top again. Within this line now, you see spinning top. So there are so many piercing patterns, but it is rare. When you spot one, you recognize. Always allow your reversal pattern to form finish. So when you see a piercing pattern, you should be able to recognize a piercing pattern. We have discussed on so many reversal patterns. So those reversal patterns are enough. On our next class, we'll be discussing on Marabuzu. Marabuzu, we are going to be discussing on Marabuzu and then explain what Marabuzu represents, and we will check it in our live chat. Thank you and have a nice day. My name still remains Josie, the admin of CJ FOREX.